Stupidity isn't just about being less intelligent. It's about repeating bad habits, refusing to learn, and staying stuck in the same mistakes. The worst part? A truly stupid man doesn't even realize he's stupid. Instead of growing, he blames the world for his problems. Psychologist Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." In other words, foolish men blame bad luck and other people for their struggles, never realizing their own choices are the real problem. But here's the truth. Stupidity is a choice. If you don't recognize and change these behaviors, you could be making the same mistakes without even knowing it. So, how do you avoid this? Here are 6 clear signs of a stupid man, and how to make sure you're not one of them. Ever met someone who acts like they know everything? That's our first sign of a stupid man. He thinks he's got all the answers. But here's the truth. The smartest people don't act like that. Let's break down why this mindset is a trap and how wise people think differently. Picture this, a guy who refuses to listen. He's always right, at least in his own mind. He never asks questions, never admits mistakes, and acts like an expert on things he knows nothing about. Maybe he's arguing about fixing a car, but he's never even held a wrench. That's the kind of guy we're talking about, too stubborn to see what he's missing. There's a great line in Proverbs 18 verse 2. "A fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in expressing his own opinion." In simple terms, this guy loves to talk but hates to learn. And that's where he starts to fall behind. Scientists call this the Dunning-Kruger effect, a fancy way of saying that people who know little often think they know a lot. Meanwhile, truly smart people understand how much they don't know. So, the loudest guy in the room, he might actually be the least informed. This mindset ruins him in 4 ways. 1, he stops growing. If he thinks he already knows it all, why improve? 2, that people avoid him. Nobody likes a know-it-all who's always wrong. 3, that he keeps failing. Since he won't learn, he keeps making the same dumb mistakes. 4, that his career stalls. Refusing to learn new skills means getting left behind. So what do wise people do? They ask questions. Instead of acting like experts, they stay curious. They find mentors. They listen to people who know more. They admit mistakes. When they're wrong, they adjust and improve. Socrates said it best. A wise man knows that he knows nothing. That's the difference. Fools act like they know it all, but smart people stay open to learning. If someone never questions themselves, never learns, and never admits they're wrong, they're not smart. They're stuck. But you can choose to be different. Stay curious, keep learning, and watch how much better life gets. Ever met someone who always has an excuse? No matter what happens, it's never their fault. That's our second sign of a stupid man. He never takes responsibility. Let's break down why this mindset holds him back and what smart people do differently. Ever met someone who always has an excuse? No matter what happens, it's never their fault. That's our second sign of a stupid man. He never takes responsibility. Let's break down why this mindset holds him back and what smart people do differently. Picture this. A guy keeps making bad choices, blowing his money on junk, skipping work, losing friends. But instead of owning up, he blames everyone else. Spent all his cash? I got scammed. Failed a test? The teacher hates me. Lost friends? They were fake anyway. It's never his fault. Always someone or something else. He sees himself as a victim, not the one in control of his life. Here's the problem. When you blame others, you give away your power. If life is always someone else's fault, how can you change anything? You can't. Psychologist Carl Jung once said, "People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own soul." In other words, this guy runs from the truth. He's too scared to say, "Yeah, I messed up, but that's..." So, what happens when someone never takes responsibility? 1, he stays stuck. The same problems, money issues, bad relationships, keep happening. 2, that people stop trusting him. Nobody respects someone who never owns their mistakes. 3, that he never improves. Instead of learning and growing, he keeps repeating the same failures. 4, he loses control. If everything is someone else's fault, He's just a passenger in his own life. Let's compare. A fool blames the world. Life's unfair, so I can't win. A wise man adapts. Life's tough, but I'll find a way. A fool makes excuses. I didn't have time. A wise man makes a plan and gets it done. A fool avoids hard truths because they hurt. A wise man faces them and grows stronger. One stays stuck. The other keeps leveling up. So what do wise people do? They own their choices. When they mess up, they say, "That's on me." They learn from mistakes. Instead of complaining, they ask, "How can I fix this?" They take action. They don't sit around blaming the world. They get to work. This is how you take control of your life. So here's the big question. Are you taking responsibility? The stupid man hides behind excuses and stays small. But you don't have to. Own your choices, learn from them, and watch how much power you get back. Ever seen someone lose their mind over something small? Maybe they explode over a tiny mistake or panic over a minor delay. That's our third sign of a stupid man. He can't control his emotions. Let's break down why this messes up his life and what smart people do differently. This guy's emotions run the show, and it shows up in different ways. The hothead snaps over nothing. Yelling over a spilled drink? That's him. The overreactor blows things out of proportion. 5 minutes late, he acts like it's the end of the world. The impulsive man acts without thinking. Mad at work? Quits on the spot. Stressed? Spends money he doesn't have. These guys don't pause to think. They just react, and it always backfires. Here's the thing. If your emotions control you, you're not really in control. Psychologist Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." Translation? If you don't get a grip on your emotions, they'll run your life, and you won't even realize it. He thinks he's just unlucky or life is unfair, but really, he's being played by his own feelings. That makes him easy to manipulate, unstable, and even dangerous to himself. So what happens when emotions run wild? 1, he's unpredictable. 1 minute he's fine. The next he's raging or freaking out. Nobody knows what to expect. 2, that people can control him. Say the right thing and he snaps. That makes him easy to push around. 3, he ruins relationships. 1 bad outburst can break trust forever. 4, his impulsive choices backfire. Whether it's quitting a job, making a dumb purchase, or lashing out. His worst regrets come from acting without thinking. His life is chaos because he never stops to breathe, process, and think. Let's compare. A fool reacts without thinking, yells, fights, storms off. A wise man stays calm, pauses, processes, and chooses his response. A fool gets played by emotions. Anger, fear, frustration control him. A wise man uses emotions wisely, turns anger into motivation, fear into caution, frustration into problem solving. The Bible says it best in Proverbs 29 verse 11. A fool lets all his anger out, but a wise man holds it back quietly. 1 is loud and weak. The other is calm and strong. Guess who wins in the end? So what do smart guys do? They hit pause. Before snapping, they take a deep breath. They redirect emotions. Instead of punching a wall, they channel anger into fixing the problem. They train their mind. They learn to stay steady, like a captain steering a ship through a storm. That's real strength. Not shouting, not breaking things, but thinking before acting. The loudest guy in the room isn't the strongest. The one who stays cool and thinks clearly is. A stupid man lets emotions boss him around. But you don't have to. Slow down, stay calm, and take control. Who do you hang out with every day? That's our 4th sign of a stupid man. He surrounds himself with fools. Your friends can either lift you up or drag you down. Let's see why this matters and how smart people choose better friends. This guy's crew is full of dead weight. The complainers, always whining, blaming others. The lazy crowd, spending all day on video games, not doing anything useful. The yes men, friends who just agree with him, even when he's wrong. He picks people who keep him comfortable, not people who make him better. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe once said, "Tell me who you spend time with, and I'll tell you who you are." In other words, The people you hang with shape who you become. If this guy is always with complainers and slackers, guess what? He becomes one of them too. Why is this a problem? One, that he picks up bad habits, like complaining instead of fixing things. Two, he wastes time. Lazy friends mean no motivation to grow. Three, he misses out on good ideas. Without anyone challenging him, he keeps making dumb decisions. He's stuck because his friends are stuck. It's like being on a losing team. So, what do smart people do? They find mentors, people who've been there and can teach them. They pick friends who challenge them. You can do better than that. They surround themselves with winners, people who work hard and aim high. These friends pull you up, not down. Jim Rohn once said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." If your top 5 are lazy or negative, you'll be too. But if they're smart and driven, you'll start acting like them. So, who's in your circle? The stupid man surrounds himself with fools and stays small. But you can choose better. Find people who push you, teach you, and win at life. That's how you grow. Do you ever pick fun over hard work? That's our 5th sign of a stupid man. He chases pleasure instead of discipline. Let's dive into why this trips him up and how smart people play the long game instead. This guy's all about the easy stuff. He spends hours scrolling through videos instead of learning something new. He grabs junk food like chips and soda instead of hitting the gym or eating healthy. He settles for shallow friendships instead of building deep, lasting connections. He's focused on feeling good right now, not thinking about tomorrow. It's like he's a kid who only wants candy all the time. Here's the deal. Chasing pleasure makes him a slave to his desires. Carl Jung said our brains are like a tug-of-war. There's a lazy side that loves fun and a strong side that aims higher. The stupid man always lets the lazy side win. He picks quick, shallow happiness over lasting success. But here's the catch. Those quick thrills fade fast, and he's left with nothing. So what's the cost? One, that he misses out. Hours of mindless fun mean no growth, no new skills. He stays stuck. 2, he feels lousy. Junk food and no exercise drain his energy and leave him feeling weak. 3, he's lonely. Shallow friendships don't last, and when things get tough, those people are gone. He's trading fulfilling life for empty, fleeting pleasure. It's like blowing all your money on toys and having nothing left for the real stuff. So what do smart people do? They build. They learn new skills, work on themselves, and invest in things that pay off in the long run. They use their time wisely. Instead of wasting hours, they read, create, or work toward goals. They stick to discipline. They say no to instant gratification, knowing that hard work now leads to rewards later. Smart people are like farmers, planting seeds now for a big harvest in the future. The Bible sums it up in Proverbs 21 verse 20. A foolish man eats up everything he has, but a wise man saves some for later. Pleasure is a trap. The fool falls in and gobbles it all up. The wise man steps back, takes control, and builds something greater. Real strength isn't about feeling good now. It's about creating something lasting. So what's your choice? Fun today or wins tomorrow? The stupid man runs after pleasure and ends up empty. But you can choose discipline, work hard, grow strong, and make your life awesome. Pleasure's tricky, but you're smarter than that. Ever know someone who keeps tripping over the same rock? That's our 6th sign of a stupid man. He never learns from his mistakes. Let's figure out why this keeps him stuck and how smart people turn mess-ups into wins. This guy is like a broken record. He spends all his cash and ends up broke. Again, he picks fights with friends and wonders why they're mad. Again, he's trapped because he doesn't stop to think, maybe I'm doing this wrong. It's like he's stuck in a loop and doesn't even see it. That's what makes him a prisoner of his own dumb choices. Albert Einstein nailed it when he said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Imagine this. Kicking a soccer ball at a wall, hoping it'll magically go in the goal. Sounds silly, right? But that's this guy. He keeps doing the same thing and wonders why he never gets ahead. He's hoping for magic instead of learning from what went wrong. So why is this a big deal? 1, he wastes time. Years go by and he's still stuck in the same place. 2, he piles up problems. One bad choice turns into 10 because he doesn't fix the first one. 3. People stop trusting him. If he keeps crashing, who's going to stick around? He's digging a hole deeper instead of climbing out. Now, what do smart people do? They look at their mistakes like detectives. They ask, what went wrong here? Like figuring out why they bombed a test. Then they adjust. Maybe they didn't study enough. So next time, they hit the books harder. They don't just cry over their mistakes. They use them to get better. The trick is, mistakes aren't the end, they're the start of winning. The real difference? A fool keeps making the same mistake over and over. The wise man learns from it and grows. It's not about how many times you fall. It's about what you do after. The fool stays down. The wise man gets up smarter. So, are you learning from your slip-ups? The stupid man keeps crashing because he won't change. But you can be the wise one. Look at what went wrong, fix it, and come back stronger. Mistakes are teachers if you let them be. Stupidity is a choice, but so is wisdom. How to break free. 1. Be brutally honest with yourself. Stop making excuses. 2. Kill your ego. Stay humble and open to learning. 3. Master emotional control. React wisely, not impulsively. 4. Surround yourself with smarter people. 5. Learn from every mistake. Most people will stay stuck, but you don't have to. If you want to rise above the average, take action. Stay sharp, stay disciplined, and never stop learning.